tall. Raise your voice and shout, we're breaking down the walls. We're breaking free, yeah, we're breaking free. No more oppression, it's out for liberty, breaking free. Yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts, we're reclaiming our land. They try to silence us, but we won't be tamed. Voices getting louder, can't keep us in chains. We got the power, we got the might. Together we can shine, together we can fight. Feel the rhythm in your feet, it's time to stand tall. Raise your voice and shout, we're breaking down the walls. We're breaking free, yeah, we're breaking free. No more oppression, it's out for liberty, breaking free. Yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts, we're reclaiming our land. They try to silence us, but we won't be tamed. Voices getting louder, can't keep us in chains. We got the power, we got the might. Together we can shine, together we can fight. Feel the rhythm in your feet, it's time to stand tall. Raise your voice and shout, we're breaking down the walls. We're breaking free, yeah, we're breaking free. No more oppression, it's out for liberty, breaking free. Yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts, we're reclaiming our land. We're claiming our land.
I hate this show. Oh my goodness.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Are You Smarter Than a Politician? This is your gateway drug to liberty. Tonight, we tackle the managed decline of America. From endless spending and surveillance to broken institutions, foreign influence, endless wars, and a political system many Americans no longer trust. We've got three notable podcasters stepping into the arena to debate the future of the country. So get ready, because tonight you decide who is smarter than a politician. Joining us again, my buddy Travis Wells. He is the host of the Great Object podcast. You can find it on YouTube there and follow him on X at @liberty_extreme. How are you tonight, Travis?
Brother, I'm doing great. I've been laying on the couch for the last hour with a sugar high. My wife got me this massive cherry cheesecake for my birthday yesterday, and yeah, it's just not going well.
Oh, I didn't know it was your birthday. Happy birthday, brother.
Thanks, man. I turned 28, and I'll die on that hill.
Excellent. Tell everybody what you're up to.
I am up to the Great Object podcast. This weekend, we're going to be talking about illegal immigration and Reconquista, as well as the Battle of Covadongo, which is one of my favorite battles in all of human history. And I'm selling my Papaw's walking sticks. So if you're a walking stick or a shelag or something like that, hit me up and we'll make it happen.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for being on. Also
Yes,
joining us, somebody I don't like nearly as much as I like Travis or Brian, Marcus Matthews. He is the host of the Black Powder podcast. That's on Thursdays, 9 p.m. on X and YouTube. And you can follow him on X at Black Powder Pod. How are you tonight, Marcus?
I'm just tippy-tappy. I want to thank everybody except Free for having me on the podcast. This is nothing more than a showcase for my talents and abilities. And Terry reached out to me and said, you need to come on. And I was like, I'm down. So thank you, Terry, for having me on. Shout out to Amity, one of my favorite libertarians. And let's go. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be fun tonight.
I think that Terry thought she was booking Chris Matthews and booked you by accident. I think that's what happened there. So, all right. Yeah. Last but not least, Brian McWilliams. He is the comms director of LP National, co-founder of Lions of Liberty, which is lionsofliberty.com, host of Mean Age Daydream. It's available everywhere. And on X, he is at Brian McWilliams, at Lions of Liberty, and at LP National. How are you tonight, Brian?
I'm good, man. My kids finally distracted. My wife's home, so I'm now fully engaged in this show to dominate all who stand before me.
Yeah, the beauty of live streaming where real life doesn't stop right outside your door. You know? Tell everybody what you're up to.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm working with the Libertarian Party. As you know, we have got a lot of stuff going on. We're bringing back the LP News, which is exciting. So you look forward to that, getting some columns, getting some updates. And of course, from the Lions of Liberty perspective, we're just rocking. We're giving our opinions. We've got a show, it's myself, Brian Nichols is on our network now, Lou Perez, John Odermatt. So we have a rich, full slate of various white men to talk to. So if you get tired of Marcus, you know where to turn.
Yeah, there you go.
I do enjoy your shows. I check them all out. So everybody check those out, please. And last but not least, she couldn't do it last week because of technical difficulties. So she will be the fourth contestant tonight. How are you tonight, Terry?
She still will not be the fourth contestant. Not the third, not the fourth, not the second. Nope, not doing it. I'm so glad to see you guys back. I love having everybody on. This is going to be a great show. I'm really hoping for a lot of laughs. So you guys keep it coming, okay?
Awesome.
You got it, chat.
And I felt like that was a confirmation that she thought you were Chris Matthews, just by the way. Our Tuesday night shows are sponsored by Zoom. If you believe adults should be free to explore their own consciousness and you're looking for a modern, precision-dosed psychedelic experience, check out zoomtrip.com, XUMTRIP.com, and see what they're building over there. And we love them and appreciate them being a sponsor. Let's jump into the chat and see what is going on there. Chris is here. What's up, Chris? Amity's here. What's up? Let's see. Jonathan's here. What's up, buddy? Dan's here. Excellent. Bronner's here. No sharp weight tonight, so I could catch the whole show. Excellent. Brent's here. What's up, Brent? You got 200 for your sugar high, Travis. So it's working out for you. You got a pie and 200 points. That's good. 200 to Marcus for being my favorite libertarian. Terry, just delete anything where they talk about Marcus. Right? 200 for the cowboy hat, rough riding Marcus.
Way down south on the Chattahoochee.
I feel like this is the perfect example of all hat, no cattle. Isn't that the saying? 200 birthday points to Travis. He got a pie and lots of
I'm already winning this shit.
Yeah. Shirley's joining us from across the pond. Thanks, Shirley. Anarchist Chef's here. What's up, buddy? Morning. Where are you? You may have taken
He's
a wrong
replying
turn
to
somewhere.
somebody.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just randomly clicking on shit now. What's up, Mad Dog? 200 to Brian for coming on Golden Shower Power Hour.
I took every single positive aspect, any career proposition in the future, and just threw it out the window by being on that show.
That's absolutely 100% true. And you probably have PTSD and a couple things that make it hurt when you pee. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
200 to Brian for running a tight LP social media ship. Yeah, the LP social is great. Rob Yates is here from the LPNC account. 199
What
to
up,
Travis
Rob?
for giving me a cane. Yeah, I was calling it a walker. Can you build him a walker? That would be way funny. That'd be way funnier for me.
I gave him some mountain medicine too.
Nice. 100 to Terry off the bat for being Terry. That's 100% true. 199 to Travis for being the ghost flower. There you go. Or for the ghost flower. There we go. -2 to Marcus for taking away my black card. Yeah, he
Earn it back.
confiscates a lot of stuff.
Earn it back.
Yeah. 200 to Marcus for being the only real libertarian. Delete all of these, Terry. Seriously. 200 to Marcus for a smooth bass voice.
Thank you, Amity.
That's why I call him Uncool Mo D. That's where he got that nickname. All right. I forgot stuff. Here we go. Thank you to all of our subscribers too for making the show happen. You can subscribe on X, and if you want to sponsor the show, email studio@freedomuncut.com. We will be at Freedom Fest in Las Vegas in July the 8th through the 11th with Spike Cohen and You Are the Power. If you want to register for that, go to freedomfest.com. Use the discount code SPIKE100 to save $100. And so You Are the Power gets credit for your registration. And then in August, we will be at the Midwest Peace and Liberty Festival, August 6th through 9th, Lake Satoshi, Michigan. The website for that is mplfest.org. Really looking forward to that. All right, let's jump into it here. Thanks again for joining us. Please share this out if you don't mind. I am at Smarter Game Show on X. Terry is at BatsT76, helping behind the scenes. Amity Lee 13, and Casey, the host of the They Both Suck podcast. He's American versus Gov. You can get our swag at freedomsuperstore.com. We got shirts, we got mugs. I am wearing the My Other Car is a Killdozer shirt tonight. Our shorts will be available on YouTube at Freedom Uncut. All right, so the prizes. Since Trump ruined peace prizes, of course, our grand prize is the Are You Smarter Than a Peace prize. We also have Mike Johnson's signature cologne, Swamp Ass, as well as the Ayn Rand Fountainhead teddy bear. We have an assortment of libertarian bobbleheads, the Ron Paul It's Happening alarm clock. Also, because of the big festivities in DC, we have the UFC White House set. But of course, since it's our government, the figures are sold separately, so you have to buy that separate. But we also have the Trump inflation game, as well as the culture war puppets, divide, distract, dominate while they loot the country. We also have Grand Theft Oil, a new game. And we have the Peace Talks smoke machine. It creates dramatic headlines while hiding the same outcome because peace isn't profitable. And of course, we have the Real Libertarian Starter Pack. If you want to cosplay as a real libertarian, this is what you need. You need some talking points written down for you, some gas station sunglasses, a couple books you won't read, and of course, a condescending bobblehead. We have the Federal Reserve Magic 8-Ball, Neo-Canopoly, and of course the Trump Nativity set because we can't get rid of this piece of shit and it's June already. And of course the Lego Killdozer because nobody talks about the Killdozer more than me and Casey do. Here are the rules. I am the government. Whatever I say goes. Scoring errors count. Life isn't fair. Suck it up, Buttercup. Nobody cares. Here's how scoring works. The chat controls the score, give or take up to 100 points. And because I am the government and I believe in crony capitalism, the subscribers can give or take up to 200 points because they pay me, so they matter more. Lightning round. Let's get into it. I'll put Terry in the back. She controls the chat and the score. Make her life extremely difficult. Terry will be right back as contestant number 4, so enjoy that. All right. Travis, to you, the category is the collapse of trust. Has the federal government lost the trust of most Americans permanently?
Yeah, and it lost it in 1861 when Abraham Lincoln decided to be a complete psychotic tyrant. But yeah, it hasn't been going very well ever since.
Yeah, very true. All right, Marcus, to you. Are Americans more divided because politicians benefit from division?
Absolutely. And I want to expand on that. They're divided more so because the politicians do their thing, but the media comes in and shovels a bunch of crap down their throats. And, you know, you should be used to that, getting stuff shoved down your throat free. But, you know, I digress. But yeah, it's terrible what politicians have done to America.
Oh, my Lord. We're not even through the first round. I just want to point that out. All right, Brian, to you. Has the media become an extension of political power?
Well, I think without a doubt, because you look at what happens with media often it goes in a kind of a round robin. They go into government, they take jobs in government, then they leave government, they get put on media shows, not to mention the NGOs, which often work hand in hand with government. And who do you see talking about issues of the day? People that they pull from NGOs who were formerly associated with the government. So, of course, it's an absolute extension of government. It's an incestuous system. And frankly, I'm surprised they don't have retarded children by now.
Yeah, very true. All right, back to you, Travis. Category is institutional failure. Have federal agencies become too powerful to reform?
Yeah. Reformation is a pipe dream. It's just not going to happen. They get money, and then if they don't spend it, they don't get a budget raise. So they just spend it no matter what. So they're always coming up with all these, oh, we got to take care of these new rules. We got to write new rules, like the ATF, absolute fucking terrorist organization. I'll die on that hill defending that claim. They just make up rules, and they think they're Congress, and they think they can take our guns. Now, they're behaving themselves here lately, but I swear the second Gavin Newsom or somebody gets in there, they're going to go right back to the way they were. Like, letting them survive through this little term is the dumbest thing we can possibly do. And that goes for almost every single government agency out there. I can probably count on one hand how many government agencies I actually like, and one of them is like the Fish and Game and the game wardens and things like that. Like I actually like the Forestry Service, shoot me, but that's about it, you know?
Totally agree. The Republicans have funded the ATF to the highest level ever, so don't believe the hype with them. Yeah.
I just like that the probably the Forest Service will shoot you and they find you in the woods passed out in a diabetic coma and just think you're a rabid bear.
Well,
I don't-
they'll
I
at
don't
least
know.
shoot your dog. They'll at least shoot your dog.
I don't know. The game warden around me is pretty cool. He'll probably just sit there and drink my liquor and then leave.
All right. Marcus, to you. Is the justice system tougher on ordinary Americans than political insiders?
Well, there's several tiers to justice in this country, and that's what's so disturbing about how Americans have relinquished their authority in this republic to the government. What you're seeing right now with the Epstein stuff is all these elites, well-connected and political, being shown into the White House and given ringside seats at the Idiocracy UFC fights and things of that nature. And until the American people decide that we actually want to be a republic again, it's never going to change.
Hey, while you have the hat on, do you mind if I just call you Hootie for the rest of the show?
No, we ain't doing that right there. I'm Alan Jackson.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Wait,
You keep thinking that. All right, Brian, to you. Are Americans paying more for worse results across nearly every institution?
Without a doubt, we are. I mean, my God, you look at education, we've had the highest number we've been paying ever in the history of humanity per student. We have the worst outcomes. You look at the welfare state and poverty, we're paying more for poverty than we have, and we have worse poverty. Every single the military industrial complex, we're paying more than we ever have for the military industrial complex, and yet we're in constant wars that are never resolved. They even renamed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. So yeah, across the board, every time we're paying for worse results in expanded government, and all we do is get stomped on because of it. So without a doubt.
Definitely true. All right, Travis, back to you. The category is lack of government oversight. Does government secrecy now outweigh transparency?
Yeah, it does. And the funny thing is this nation actually has no official secrets act. Like they just do it. And it's completely against the Constitution. They've been told dozens of times they have to release all the JFK files. Guess what? 70 years later, we still don't have the JFK files. But somehow, we had a miracle happen and Thomas Massey gets in there and we have a little bit of the Epstein files. And if it wasn't for Massey, we wouldn't have it, period. And they just spent a record amount of money that they just print out of thin air and give through gambling to their favorite buddies. And there you go. Like I can complain about that all day. I'm going to try to keep it under a minute for you.
There you go. Appreciate you landing your sugar high there. All right, Marcus, to you. Is waste and fraud now built into federal spending?
Government is waste and fraud. There is no absolute reason why our government needs to spend now $600 million on a GD ballroom that is not going to be used at the tune of $600 million. I don't give a rat's patoot what they say is they've needed this for 150 years. But government itself it's not even an unnecessary evil. It's just evil at this point. I think we were better off in the Stone Age. Vote libertarian.
Another shout out to the Stone Age. Excellent. Brian, to you. Has oversight become political theater instead of real accountability?
I think that's a little bit debatable. I think the political oversight in a large extent has become a distraction. I mean, we live in California, Marcus and I. The political oversight there starts with, okay, there is no problem, to don't worry, we're on top of the problem, to the problem is somebody else's fault. So the oversight itself has become a way to attack your opponents. So that's really where the oversight falls apart. However, we have seen some improvements in oversight. We're seeing some files released. We're seeing, obviously, the attempts by Elon Musk and Doge, but look what happened with that. It's undercut. So any oversight is immediately undone, hidden, and then obfuscated by the government at any turn. So similar to what, with Thomas Epstein and the Epstein files, when you finally do get oversight, it's very short-lived and in fact becomes more of a distraction to things like maybe going to war with Iran than actual oversight. It's a parlor game wherein they can show you the ace and then hide it up their sleeve, and out the other side of their hand comes God knows what kind of hand.
Yeah.
Word.
It's like two-party Monty is really what it is. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, Travis, back to you. The category is the duopoly trap. Speaking of the duopoly, Are Americans voting against the other side more than for ideas?
Yeah, and the funny thing is the joke's on them because there's really only one side. There's us, and then there's them, and them is always against American liberty. They are all against your gun rights, especially the Republicans. They just like to pretend like they're your friends. They have had Thomas Massey's constitutional carry bill stalled since June of 2025, and they haven't even let it have a committee hearing, let alone a floor vote. So yeah, it's there's just one party, and that one party is Israel, unfortunately.
Very true.
Or-
All right, Marcus, to you. Does the duopoly survive because voters fear wasting their vote?
You know, here in California, I tell everybody when it comes to local elections, vote your conscience. But when it comes to federal elections, if you're voting for a Republican, you're literally throwing your vote away. Because San Diego, LA, Santa Barbara, and San Francisco are going to decide federal elections. So what they need to do is vote for a third party and let us get to that magical 3, 4, 5%. I skips my mind right now. But vote for the libertarian candidate so we can have a honest third option. And that's the only way you're going to make the duopoly move in the correct direction of transparency and honesty. If they know that somebody's going to truly siphon away their votes, they have to be better at what they aren't good at right now. Vote libertarian.
I like the added plug at the end there. All right, Brian, to you. Do the two major parties benefit from keeping voters angry at each other?
Of course they do. I mean, it's classic. You always talk about 1984, the fact that they build up the great enemy. Well, the great enemy no longer seems to be the enemy at our gates exterior. Like, look at American opinion on the Iran war. The fact remains that we are now more divided internally, and they know that that is the benefit because Americans are sick of the spending externally. They see the failures across government, but there's always somebody to be pissed about. And to your earlier question about division among Americans, it's far easier to give people something to fight about, be it climate change, be it LGBTQ issues, be it voting rights. You know, there's any number of issues where they've successfully been able to demonize one side against the other and erode trust within communities, which used to be the check, right? Your reality depended on who you talked to, your community, who you hung out with. And now the government successfully paired us against each other. And that is an absolute lever of power that keeps the people behind the scenes, the elites, as we said, the mono party, in total power. It is just a wrestling game, and they take turns being the heel.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
All right. Enter your scores in the chat if you've not done so already. Let's jump into the chat and see what is going on. Points to Brian. All right. 100 to Marcus because that's the law around here. You got to wear your sunglasses so you can feel cool. Marcus will need to do more than that to feel cool.
Horse plop.
Minus 200 to Marcus for trying to look like one of the prizes. So unoriginal. You're the first person I ever parodied in the prizes, Marcus. So
I love it. I actually want that slide. I'm going to text you to send that to me, remind you.
Dude, you should start doing it for all the guests. That would be amazing.
These just come in flashes. There's no rhyme or reason how it happens. But to diss Marcus, I went out of my way. 100 to Travis for dissing Lincoln. 100 to Travis for the Lincoln Bash. That's Coco Slim. What's up, buddy? Oh, and Browners, you're excellent. Dan's got 156 to Brian for incestuous system. 100 to Travis for the necessary pessimism. 100 to Travis for something ATF. 200 to Marcus for being way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Minus 100 to me for calling Marcus Hootie. I had respect enough to call him George Clinton. 200 to Marcus for censoring his GD self, but minus 13 for censoring himself. Government is waste and fraud. 200 cowpoke yippee-ki-yay. 187 to Marcus for the badass hat. 200 Brian for the Sound of Music mountain scene in the background.
That's actually the cast of Always Sunny in Philadelphia mocking the mountain scene, and it's signed by the entire cast. I'll have you know.
That's amazing. I feel like I need to know more about that picture to his right to my right there with the AK. That can get you some points.
That's
Oh,
a
we
real
doing
old
AKs?
school Obey. Yeah. That's an old school Obey poster. I was like, oh, I got to get that out there, man. And this, of course,
Right
is
on.
Sean Young from Blade Runner behind me, also signed.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. Excellent.
Are we bringing AKs into the stuff? Because I
No, Marcus, slow your roll.
Okay.
Slow your roll. This is a white people show.
Today was a
People
good day.
invented the AK.
Yeah,
Today was a good day.
there you go. 200 Marcus, government is waste and fraud. 200 to Travis for the Massey shout out. I must have said something funny. I just laughed really loud. 200 to Travis for calling out the psychotic tyrant, Abe Lincoln. Alan Jackson, I thought you were Reggie Jackson. That's
Wow.
way better. 150 to Charlie Pride because it's Pride
Shout out
Month.
to
Hey,
Charlie
cowboy.
Pride. Yeah, heck yeah.
Minus 100 Marcus for advocating voting.
Yeah.
200 Marcus, are those overalls? Yeehaw.
No, it's body armor.
Yeah. I give 100 back to Marcus for joining us in the chat. 100 to Brian for being awesome. Missed that round, but minus 200 for whoever said Game Warden is cool. That'd be Travis. 100 to Travis for giving the least scripted answers. I don't
This
know
is
if
all at
that's-
the top of the head, baby.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know the questions.
I'll forfeit the 100 points for having Mad Dog on. I'm going to forfeit those. 200 to Alan Jackson, though. All right. Let's see. Oh, one more. 200 to Marcus for quoting Ice Cube. There you go. A much cooler Jackson than whatever Jackson he's pretending to be.
Tito.
Oh, my
Ooh.
God. What is happening here? All right. Let's check the score. Marcus is in the lead, 12-22. Travis, 898. Brian, 756.
Let's go, Brian. We got to keep it West Coast, baby.
They view me as the establishment voice on this pod. So
I refuse to lose to a Californian. I
Well,
will
there's
not
two of
have
us,
this.
so take your
yeah,
pick.
that's right. We're gonna combine.
Okay.
We're gonna combine the points at the end of it, and then
Chat,
I'm gonna go to
wait.
Skid. Then I'm gonna go to Skid Row, and I'll guarantee I can get about 15,000 points just by giving people free handouts
Chat,
and
wake the fuck up right now.
Trading Fenty for votes. Isn't that what Newsom did?
That is what happened with
Hey.
Nithya Raman last cycle in Los
Yeah.
Angeles County.
There you go.
Clean
All
noodles
right.
for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, Travis, to you. The category is Citizens United and political money. Has campaign finance law made corruption more sophisticated instead of less common?
No, it's actually not sophisticated at all. They're basically donating everything. Like, yeah, they'll say that their average donation is $53, but the thing is they got massive computer algorithms being like, hey, Joe blah blah from Kentucky donated 18,000 times today. Yeah, right. Kiss my ass. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
All right.
Glenn Livett.
Marcus, to you. Does big money now matter more than voters in federal elections?
Big money has always mattered more than voters in the history of mankind because greed. I mean, greed is a natural human trait that goes back since the beginning. But the thing about politics and money, and I always say this on my podcast, everybody has a lobbyist in their state capital in Washington, D.C., except the American people. And every industry, yeah, I'll just leave it there. Vote libertarian.
All right. Brian, back to you. Would term limits matter if money still controls campaigns?
I think the term limits would still impact in some way, shape, or form because at least we wouldn't have people like Mitch McConnell turning into paraplegic turtles in the middle of speeches. And the longer you stay in office, the more possessed you become, right? And these people are human creatures. They become obsessed with the power. So I think it would help. But yeah, at the same time, look what just happened with Ed Gowrine displacing Thomas Massey. So we've seen it put very plainly how easily you can be bought, how political contributions determine what campaigns, who people run, how they run, the advertising dollars spent. So, well, yes, term limits would help, but the poison's always going to be there. What's the good news is if you had term limits, at least you can see it laid barely like we saw with Thomas Massey.
Very true.
Work. Vote Jeremy Todd.
Although Thomas Massey
Jeremy
would have been
Todd,
out
damn
because
right.
of, although term limits would have been out because of, in Massey's case too, he would have been out. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, back to you, Travis. Category is foreign influence in elections. Does foreign money have too much influence in American politics?
Let me get my Burger King crown on for that one. Yeah, it does. The only people that should be putting money into our political system is me and you. And the fact of the matter is that this is a world shadow government that is running all of this stuff. We don't have sovereignty of our own anymore. And all of these laws are written by lawyers that have very special interests. They have deep pockets. And then our elected representatives don't even read them. They just vote for them because they're told to. So we don't actually have a government of our own. This is just a system that's being allowed to exist right now.
Totally agree. All right, Marcus, to you. Are American politicians more responsive to donors than voters?
Now, let me say this, okay? American voters are, forgive me, America, but you're some of the dumbest people on earth, because you can vote for the same thing over and over again and expect different results. There is no difference between Democrats and Republicans on policy. And to the last question, the only foreign influences that are making marks upon our government are all based in the Middle East. And that's not just one country. That's Israel, that's Saudi Arabia, that's all the Gulf states that are sitting here throwing all kinds of money at these people, and then they're influencing our foreign policy more so than the American voter could ever hope to do so. So yes, foreign the big money donors have way more power than the American people, and they will do so until we take our country back. Vote Libertarian.
All right. Brian, to you. Do foreign governments exploit America's political divisions?
To the same extent that our CIA exploits foreigners' divisions. I think to some level they enjoy it. They lead into it. The whole Russiagate thing with Trump, where they bought $150 worth of ads. Great. I think that really, though, foreign nations are more than happy to sit back and watch us tear each other apart. I don't think that they exploit those divisions any more so than, adjusting something by a 0.001 of a percentage point. It's all done internally. It's all by design with our own government. I think they're just happy to sit back and watch and clap like seals.
Probably true. All right. Was that a seal noise?
Was that Terry just in the background going, oh?
Oh, yeah. It's Terry's question. Hang on.
I hope that was a seal anyway, and not just Terry pleasuring herself to something in the background.
Oh, boy.
That was actually me. I was, but we can stick with the. I like the Terry thing.
Wow.
I like the Terry thing way better. So,
yeah. All right, Travis, back to you. Category is the failure of public education. Is public education producing weaker critical thinkers?
Yes, and it's intentional. John D. Rockefeller is quoted as saying that I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. And he was one of the early contributors to what eventually led to the Department of Education. They purposely wanted to raise people to be minimally compliant factory workers. That is in their statements under their own pen. This is not something that we have dreamed up. This is actually from John D. Rockefeller's lips and under his pen. So the education system is working exactly as intended. It's intentionally making people dumber. It's intentionally making people trust the government, even though these are the very same demons that are destroying everybody and that you see outlined over and over and over again in the Epstein list.
Absolutely. All right, Marcus, to you. Are schools preparing students for obedience more than independence?
I can speak to this question personally. Schools are government indoctrination centers. Now, with the culture war stuff, people are saying schools are doing this, that, and the other thing with gender ideologies and all that stuff. That I don't know. I've never seen that personally, but what I have seen personally is how the school makes the government omnipotent, and that the government is the solution. The government is the answer. The government is the ones that are going to keep you safe, when everything we know at this point in June of 2026, that is false. The government is the problem, and government schools are the problem. Now, I'm all for homeschooling, but there's one thing I want parents to understand about homeschooling. This economy and this world that we're going into is going to be based on technology. Now, if you're homesteading and you want your kids to homestead, that's fine and dandy, but you need to understand when you're looking at education for your school-age children, you need to be looking towards the future, not looking at what you did or what you had or where your path in life is, because the world these kids are going to inherit is nothing like it is today. Vote libertarian.
All right.
Man, I wish I
Brian,
could give
you.
points for that answer. That was great. Like standards. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
All right, Brian, to you. Has education become too political?
Oh, perfect. Because I was actually going to try to tack on something to Marx's answer, the subservience thing, because our education systems are training these kids to be subservient to one ideology and to be completely objectionist and take action to be activists against any other ideology, aka libertarianism, aka they're training to be Marxist. They hate capitalism. But yes, they're completely changing our children to be political. They're training them to be in one vein of thought. And if you dare to step out and you say anything about it, well, then you've got the entire power of the teachers unions weighing down on you. I mean, look how powerful the teachers unions are when it comes to political appointments, when it comes to how do they impact elections. You have a massive voting bloc. So yeah, this is all tying together into one thing. I mean, these three answers tie in perfectly to answer the question you just asked me. And as I said, they are being trained in one ideology only. And that's why, to Marx's point, homeschool your kids, if at all possible.
Definitely. All right. Back to you, Travis. Category is cultural decline and civic illiteracy. Do most Americans understand how their government actually works?
Again, I think it's intentional that they are. Well, let's go back. So, have anybody seen that Kung Pao Enter the Fist movie? It's from like almost 30 years ago now.
Yeah.
Like Wimp Lo, we have purposely trained him wrong as a joke. You know, he is an idiot. You know, and that's exactly how our kids are being taught. History, as we all know, is a set of lies agreed upon. That's Napoleon Bonaparte saying that, right? So, like, yeah, they've intentionally made up all this crap in history. Most of it never happened. Most of it wasn't even as bad as they try to say it was. And then the things that did happen that we were good guys in, we barely had anything to do with it. Like World War I, for example, we were in that for maybe 6 months, like total. Yeah, so like it's, you know, they purposely want us to not know how our government works. That way we can't engage with it. Because like, for one thing, if you look at like judges now, they have these secret enclaves that they call the local area judges to, just to figure out how to fight against sovereign citizens and stuff like that. And then they won't even let the press in there because they don't want them to know how these judges are figuring out ways around the like just very basic things that sovereign citizens do. Not that I'm a sovereign citizen, but you know, libertarian by any other degree, right?
Absolutely. All right. Marcus, to you. Has social media made people more politically reactive and less informed?
No, social media has made people stupid because they think their opinion matters on subjects that Americans don't read anymore. And the only thing they do is they see a headline, and this is where the media comes back into our earlier segment. The media will put the opinion in the headline. Americans will read the headline of the story, won't read a damn thing in the article, and then form an opinion and go out there and espouse it. And then some other idiot is going to come up and say, hey, this is what happened because I read it on the internet. It was on my AOLs. And that's where we are as Americans, where, you know, I'm in the IT industry, and when you get too much information and you don't have the throughput to process that information, some packets are going to get dropped off. And then when the information gets to its destination, it's not complete. And that's where Americans are right now as far as social media is concerned, because they don't understand all the information that they're getting, and they don't have the ability to process it. That's why you should vote for a libertarian.
All right. Brian, sorry. Is political tribalism replacing independent thought?
Absolutely. This goes back to something I said earlier about checking your opinions with your community, checking your opinions against who you're talking to, be it your church, be it your Dungeons and Dragons group. I don't give a damn who it is. Of course, it's all tribalism now. Talking to my neighbors, I live in Los Angeles. It is an S-hole. It's awful. I'm going to lose points for censoring myself. It's awful. You look around, there's homeless people everywhere. It's a filthy garbage dump that's expensive and almost impossible to live in. And yet, when I talk to my neighbors, I have good neighbors, good friends, they will tell me to my face that I'm wrong and that my opinions are ridiculous, and that they read a source here or there. The tribalism overrides almost any rational thought in this day and age, because any presented thought, any presented opinion, any presented facts you give somebody, they simply will not believe. We live in a post-truth society at the moment, and that is because of political tribalism, because the government has done such a good job, and this is where, thank God for X to a certain degree, the government's done such a good job presenting themselves as the arbiters of truth. COVID woke some people up to the fact that they're full of it, but for the most part, they have become your parents. They have become the ones telling you what's right, what's wrong, what's real, and what's not real. And that comes down to tribalism, because the people are listening to the politicians that they voted for, and they don't want to be seen as losers. And tying into social media, their opinions are out there for the world to see. And you don't want to look like an asshole when your opinions are out there and you stood strong on them. So you're going to stick with that tribe, do or die, no matter how wrong you are.
Wow. Ending the round with some fire, Brian. Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Enter your scores in the chat. Let's jump into the chat and see what's going on here. Dan's giving Travis points for refusing to lose to a Californian. That's that's a good strategy.
Boo.
200 to Marcus for It's Always Money. 200 for paraplegic turtles in the middle of speeches. Too funny, Brian. And another 100 for term limits. 100 to Brian for calling out McTurtle. 200 to Travis for sovereignty. 100 to Travis for the Burger King crown. 100 to Travis for speaking about global shadow government. 7 to Brian for paraplegic.
7 whole points.
7, yeah. Don't spend
Very
them
generous.
By 6.
Very generous.
You can't even get a Burger King crown for 7 points. 200 to DJ Jazzy Cowpoke for calling voters dumb. 100 to Travis for the government school history. 100 to Travis for saying it's by intention. 200 to Marcus for government indoctrination centers. 200 to Marcus on behalf of Travis. Oh, now we're doing like pay to play here. Excellent.
Thanks, Amity.
Lars Babstead's here. One of our best.
Yeah, Lars.
100 to Marcus for
What's up, brother?
the only real libertarian.
Yep.
151 to Brian. They do hate capitalists. 100 to Brian for based posts. 100%. 200 to Brian. F the teachers unions. Government is the problem. 200 to Marcus. 200 to Brian. Homeschool your kids. 100 to Travis. He described what happens when government assumes control of education and they swap civics for social studies. 100 to
Preach.
Travis for corrupt judges. 200 to Travis for quoting Napoleon. First time listener, enjoyed it and will return. Thank you, Sandy. And actually, Sandy subscribed to us during the show. We really appreciate that. 100 again to Travis for more based government school insights. Bronner recommends watching the George H. Smith video, The Success of Public Schools. That's a good one. 100 to Marcus, paraphrased, Americans get their news from respectable sources, memes. 50 to Marcus for the AOLs. 100 to Travis for post-truth shout-out. 100 to Brian for post-truth shout-out. 200 to Brian for anti-tribal mini book. Minus 69 to Brian, libertarian and tribal. 200 Brian for God bless X. At least someone appreciates it. Looking at the host. Yeah, I really hate X. 200 square points to Brian. 100 to Appalachian Liberty for the crown. All right, let's check out.
Oh, I just had. I was too late. I wanted to give Marcus 100 points for adding an S to the end of stuff. The AOLs, like
The AOLs.
the AOLs,
Like from Letterkenny.
yeah.
We do that in Chicago too. We call the grocery store the Jewels. The Jewels. Yeah. All right, and a little flip flop here. Brian in the lead, 25-45. Couple hundred in front of Travis, and thank God Marcus and his ego are floating to the bottom. So
Brian's on fire, man.
That's a whole lord of
I'll
horse
fall
flop.
apart. Don't worry.
Yeah, here we go with the
This
horse
martini's almost gone, so it's all gonna come. It's all
There
gonna
we
come
go.
crumbling down.
I just
There we go.
finished my neat scotch, so I'm feeling pretty good right now.
that's why it's a drinking game, so it all falls apart at the end. Keep
That's
the
right.
viewers till the end. All right, back to you, Travis. The category is localism and agorism. Are parallel local economies becoming more necessary?
They've never stopped being necessary. This is how your ancestors lived for time, since time immemorial. You know, like we don't even have records of how far it stretches back, how necessary this stuff is. Knowing how to live off the land, knowing which animals to hunt, which ones to use for food and clothing and things like that. Like, I'm a big fan of Return to Monkey. Like, we need to go back because this technological world is bullshit.
I like it. All right, Marcus, to you. Has reliance on national systems made communities weaker?
Reliance on government has made communities weaker. Here where I live, we have plot cameras, and the city I live in is 43 square miles, and the government just purchased a helicopter. We don't need a damn helicopter, and we don't need these damn plot cameras, and we don't need government. Because if you're, I'm going to show you guys something real quick.
Here comes the gun.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
No, but
Here we go.
you're responsible for yourself. You're responsible for your own safety. Now, I get it if you're a 85-year-old woman and you have weak wrists, get yourself a wheel gun. But I understand that there's people that need help, and I'm not uncompassionate MFer by any means, but we need to wean ourselves off government, and that's the first thing that needs to happen in America, and start looking inward to how you can make it in this world and not look towards the government to help you make it in this world. And that's why you need to vote libertarian.
Man, you circled the whole runway there. I have no idea what you meant.
And if I could add to that real quick, I would like to make sure that to casually remind your neighborhood crackheads that there is around $60 worth of precious metals in every single flat camera.
There you go.
Amen.
There you go. You were trying to help out the California people on the panel here. So
Yeah. Or
Appreciate it.
Philadelphia. Philadelphia's got plenty of fenton zombies.
We're just
they
going
might
to
need some
spend
money.
$80 million making every flock camera solar, just to let you know, because that already happened with our street lights, and now they're all
Yeah.
solar.
Yeah.
Hey, black spray paint is very, very cheap.
Pink
Word.
people go.
I go for the flat. I don't like the gloss. Use the flat.
Yeah. Absolutely. You definitely want to block out all the sun rays. That way.
There you go.
all right, back to it. To you, Brian. Could local self-reliance reduce political division?
Without a doubt, it does. I mean, you can see it happening in real time. Look, if you're a local community and you have an interchange where someone else has your back. I mean, this going back time memorial, you had communities do this before the government and reliance on government existed. You had communities have mutual associations. I mean, not just past mutual associations where if you got hurt, somebody would help you. If you needed food, they'd help you. Beyond that, you would have local communities organize and have community doctors. So you didn't need healthcare. You didn't need healthcare insurance. You didn't need Obamacare forcing down your throat that you have to pay for it and then get the bureaucracy involved to make everything sky high price wise. You had community involvement that undercut government and provided more valuable resources in a more timely fashion while also strengthening your community. think about that novel thought. Not only are you not reliant on government for everything, but you also know all your neighbors, you know your community, you can talk to each other. So if you do have a disagreement, as we talked about earlier with political divisions, guess what? You're going to talk through it because you need these people. You rely on these people for healthcare, for money if you need, for food, for childcare, for teaching, because you could have your homeschool pod instead of sending your kids off to a government school. Yes, government reliance is completely eradicated when you have a strong community that depends on each other and trust each other. And you build that trust through these types of interactions.
Preach.
I like Martini, Brian.
I do talk fast. Sorry, I talk fast no matter what, guys. I'll slow down. Sorry. It's because you know why? I'll be honest. My brain moves fast, and if my mouth does not keep up with it, I will forget what I'm going to say, and I'll lose 80 points that I meant to make. So I have to try to talk fast and keep up with it before I forget what I'm going to say.
There you go.
Well, like it even sounds better because he's got that like golden radio voice too, so it's like 100% on point.
Or strip club DJ voice. Also,
coming to the stage.
Come to the stage, Jerry. What's gilfs? Get your guilt out for this gilf.
Next up on the stage is Diamond.
All right. On that note, back to you, Travis. The category is drug legalization, sponsored by our friends at Zoom, Beyond Shrooms. Check out zoomtrip.com. Travis, has the war on drugs failed?
No, it's been incredibly successful, but you got to take into account that its intended goal is to keep the population of the prisons up. Because when the 13th Amendment was passed, you have to, like, almost nobody's actually went and read the 13th Amendment. And I'm quoting, it says that involuntary servitude of any kind except for punishment as a crime is prohibited in the United States, right? So they immediately said, okay, you're free now, but we're going to arrest you for everything under the sun, right? And then now, through that little loophole in the 13th Amendment, the prison industry keeps constantly filling up, right? So, like, you listen to Prison Song by one of my favorite bands, System of a Down, right? They're trying to build a prison, you know, and then, oh my God, even better, the prisons can actually sue the state for not sending them enough people. So it's we have more slaves today than we did in 1840. I swear to God, that's true.
Yeah, I want to shout out the fact that he said System of a Down because they're from California too.
God bless
us.
Serge Tankian.
So I just want to make sure everybody knows System of a Down is Southern California guys. So thanks for shouting us out again, brother.
I love them.
You're still not redeeming your state, even though System of a Down is totally based. 100%
I'm from Philly, just so everybody knows. I'm not from here. I'm just trapped here.
Yeah.
You're stuck here, yeah.
I'm trapped.
All right. To you, Marcus. Should adults have the freedom to use any substances responsibly?
Without a doubt, they should. You know, I am a nap guy. Not a nappy guy because I have no hair anymore. But why are you concerned with what somebody ingests? You know, why are you concerned with what somebody puts in their body? What does that have to do? As long as they're not going out there driving or doing something crazy or stealing from you. You know, there's lines to be drawn in this situation with doing no harm. But if you're truly concerned about what somebody else is doing, you need to look in the mirror and say, stop being a dick. Leave them alone. Vote libertarian.
I thought you were going to take a nap during your answer, so thanks for not doing that. All right, Brian, to you. Has prohibition created more violence than drugs themselves?
I mean, come on. Of course it has. Every time anything is prohibited, it creates more violence than it would have otherwise, with peaceful people using it happily. I mean, just look at the war going on the borders of America. Look at the amount of money we're spending there. Look at the amount of violence the drug cartels have, extorted from their own population, hanging people from bridges and hanging politicians from bridges. The marketplace provides the demand because of the prohibition. And when you have that, naturally, you're going to have people that are willing to defend it. And you're going to have politicians that are bought and controlled by those same interests. That's the other thing that people don't think. It's not just the violence from the war on drugs. It's not just the violence about, people that are doing no harm. It's also the fact that when you create the black market behind this, you also have the ability to buy politicians. And they know that the money is just driving the cost up for all these things. So, of course, you're going to have more violence. You're going to have more politicians bought and sold. And yes, you're going to have exceptional amounts of violence because you have underground gangs fighting for dominance. And also, let's not forget about the violence that happens from people overdosing, the violence people that can't get treatment because it's hidden under rocks instead of being out in the open. Alcohol, once prohibition was gone, became far more peaceful because it's out in the open. You've got 12-step programs. If you get rid of the black market, you eliminate the violence that happens from all these people being addicts, robbing people and doing violent acts in order to get money to get these drugs because you actually have treatment for them. It's not stigmatized in the same way as it was before. So yes, absolutely.
Totally agree. All right.
And if I could add on
I
could add on real quick to Brian there, like Pablo Escobar himself has said that if it wasn't for the war on drugs, that he would not be a trillionaire, well, billionaire, whatever he was, right? So like, he's happy that this has happened. So it helps him corner the market because only libertarians seem to understand the free market. You corner a commodity and charge much higher prices for it. Same with Al Capone.
Well, can I say something about the black market real quick?
Oh,
I believe in black markets because I don't want to shop where free shops. And so if we have our own markets, we can have some peace within that system. So I'm all for black markets. Thank you.
Well, that gets into a broader debate about what's a black market, why we need black markets. I mean, yes, black markets, I'm all for them. Don't get me wrong. Look, we can talk about Ross Ulbricht and Silk Road. God bless Ross Ulbricht. Thank God he's free. But, you get my point in that the black markets exist because they're forced underground by government. They should all be gray markets, in my opinion. I don't even believe in white markets. I don't go to farmers markets. I don't go to brunches, but I believe in gray markets.
Marcus, I'm almost dark enough to go to your market, just by the way.
Yeah, you got some way to go.
That's what I'm working on. All right. Let's get back into it here. What did I do? Did I skip stuff? There we go. Yep. All right. Travis, to you. Category is federal surveillance state. Are tech companies functioning as surveillance partners for the government?
No, they would never do that. They would never, ever, like just do stuff just because of money. Yeah, of course it's true. Ed Snowden said it, and like you look back at like that documentary Citizen Number 4, AT&T, if you have an AT&T phone, they don't even require the government to get a warrant. They'll just give them whatever the NSA asks for. They'll just be like, yeah, here's Marcus's entire life's history. And he owns this gun, right? So yeah, like it's just these corporations. This is a corporate oligarchy, right? And yeah, so I mean, I wish I had a better answer than that. But like, of course, they're in cahoots with the government. Like in the NSA documents, it lists AT&T as highly collaborative. Those are their words. So anything that the NSA asks AT&T for, they're going to just give it to them without a warrant, without any kind of thing. So you have no privacy if you're an AT&T customer. And I promise you, all these other big companies is probably the exact same thing.
Son of a bitch, I do have AT&T, by the way.
Ooh,
Me too.
It's a mistake. Big mistake.
I really hope to God that some NSA agent has to suffer through Marcus's browsing history.
Well, guess what? They're about to get the weirdest, creepiest shit possible from this day forward. I'm going to make it a personal goal of mine to put some weird shit on my phone so they have to go home and think about their lives. So to my government watcher, my government guardian angel, so to speak, it's coming.
Yeah, thank God when they go through your phone. Thank God Marcus started doing this. June 2022.
Just as an aside, I want everybody to look up this address in New York City, 33 Thomas Street. Look that up. Have fun. enjoy your little
Is this going
tinfoil
to take
hat.
me to like Lemon Party or Goatsy or something like that?
It's going to be rate.
That
it's
would
gonna
be
be
better than what you're about to see.
ratemypoo.com. Here we go again.
It's two Marcuses in a cup is what we're going to see.
Oh no!
Oh,
I didn't
All right,
need
back-
that visual free.
Sorry for that. All right, back to you, Marcus. Are Americans being monitored more than they realize?
You know, I was very happy last week when the FISA thing failed, and when I was going all over the liberal and conservative media to see what they're saying, and it was a general consensus from a lot of people, even though mainly Democrats killed it, that they're putting our country in danger. They're putting our country in danger because the government can't spy on you. Nothing about this life should not be dangerous. You know, there is inherent dangers to waking up in the morning and going outside of there's inherent dangers in your home, but there's inherent dangers in being in a free country. And if you want the government to be able to do everything you do without you being of a criminal sort, all you're doing is justifying government's existence, and government does not need to be justified. Government should be minimized. So with that being said, vote libertarian.
Totally agree. All right, Brian, to you. Has the war on terror permanently expanded domestic surveillance?
The war on terror significantly expanded surveillance without a doubt. I mean, we've seen that time and time again. The question is really whether or not it would have happened anyway. And honestly, I think that it would have regardless. I think the problem is that we were sold a bill of goods that you're getting protected, right? Oh, this is for your own welfare. This is for your own good. And that got enough people bought in and bought sold on the fact that, oh, there's these terrorists abroad, right? Because you think about where we are domestically here, we're actually in a pretty damn safe space. We're not getting invaded anytime soon, but it gave them the excuse to expand it. So it expanded it, but would it have happened anyway? Without a doubt. I mean, are we to believe that our government is not just going to do what they're going to do? I mean, through the Obama administration, PRISM wasn't legal under the guidelines that were laid out by the war on terror, but it still happened. So regardless, it's going to happen. Our government is full of terrible people who want to know what we're thinking, know what we're doing at all times. So it's going to happen. The question is, did it actually help us when I look at this retroactively? Does it help us during peace times when we're not being attacked, where people start to wake up and they go, you know what? There's no reason for this anymore. We bought this and now we're still being surveilled. So in truth, it might be a good thing when we look back at it and say, this is the only thing that's now going to wake people up, because these sons of bitches are going to do it either way.
Absolutely true.
Precisely.
All right, back to
I
you,
feel slow
Travis.
with
The
that.
category is Fourth Amendment violations. Have Americans effectively lost their Fourth Amendment protections online?
Yeah, they have. They've lost their Fourth Amendment protections. Period. I mean, like if you since we're dunking on Lincoln today, we might as well go back to him. Like he arrested the entire Maryland state legislature and made it to where everybody traveling up a certain road was automatically arrested with no due process. So like, you know, even and then go back to like even further, go back to John Adams, our second president. He arrested the dude because he called him fat. Like he had called the president fat. So he called him like his rotundancy or something like that in a clever article, and he got arrested under the Sedition Acts. So like, you know, these tyrants are always very keen on keeping control of the discourse, and they're always keen on having just unchecked authority, right? And the reason that you see my name is the Great Object Podcast is because, one, the great object is that every man be armed. Your only actual possibility of liberty is that you are a threat to your government and that they fear you. They will get in their fucking time machines and they will go back to 1822 or whatever to find some law that you've broken or some what have you in legal language, and they will find a way to ruin you. But If you are armed, it doesn't matter the paperwork that they've got. It doesn't matter all the little legal tricks that they have. If you are armed, then they have at least that fear, that little twinge in the back of their head that says, maybe I should not screw with this guy. Because that is the only reason we are as free as we are in this country, is because our government has to fear us as citizens. They don't fear them in the UK. They don't fear them in Bangladesh. They don't fear them in India. They fear them here and only here. And that's why I got the American flag on my hat.
Can I expand on that?
Of course.
I think it goes even further back. It goes back to the first president of the United States and the Whiskey Rebellion, where people were like, hey, I want to make a living. I make pretty good whiskey. And the government says, hey, fuck off. You got to pay some taxes on that whiskey. And George Washington sent federal troops to go and kill Americans that were just trying to make their living. So this has been almost since the inception of this country that the government has had it out for the citizens. It's wild to think about that. For libertarian.
It is.
And just to expand on that, I know we're doing the Larry Sharp juggle here. Like just
I love Larry.
I love Larry too, but we're kind of doing the tennis game here. You know what I mean? But thank you for bringing up the Whiskey Rebellion. That is one of the grudges that Appalachia holds against the government, right? So Alexander Hamilton, Aaron Burr did nothing wrong. He did a national service shooting Alexander Hamilton. Okay, so like Hamilton's the one that led the troops to come up here and subdue everybody. And then George Washington comes back and he's like, okay, we're just going to pardon these people and just get this shit over with. I appreciate that, but Alexander Hamilton, I think, was the real shithead in that situation.
Word.
I feel like he might have also shot him to try to save us from that musical.
It didn't work. It didn't
No,
work. He probably
no,
should
it
have shot him twice.
It didn't. All right, back to you, Marcus. Do Americans trade privacy away too easily for security?
Yeah, and we talked about this earlier in your great podcast, Free. I really want to thank you for inviting me on, dude. You're just such an awesome individual. But Americans automatically default everything that is beyond their kitchen table to the government. And their kitchen table is way more expensive right now. I'm sorry. Screw you, Brian McWilliams. I'm not kissing Free's ass. But it is wild to me that Americans celebrate independence. This year, we're celebrating 250 years of independence, but they aren't independent. How are you going to be independent if you're depending on the government? That is just nuts to me that we can just look at the government when it's our team in charge and say, oh, things are great. You just don't understand. And then they have to explain what their chosen politician meant by the bullshit he said. It's time for Americans to step up to the mantle and kick the government square in the nuts. And that's how you do that is by voting libertarian.
I just a quick follow-up question. How much have you drank that you accidentally tried to compliment me in a fake way?
You know what? At this point, it's more of me feeling sorry for you because,
I've lost it. I'm going to mute you. I've lost interest in this answer. All right. Back to you, Brian. Is civil forfeiture government theft?
Well, not only is it government theft, it's government theft by design. When you look at how many police departments base their annual budgets on civil forfeiture, they're looking for it. They make it impossible to get it back. They literally dominate budgets in some of these small counties and just go after people for having any number of cash in their trunks, whatever it is, illegal stops, illegal pullovers. Of course, it's theft. It's evil. Just like civil asset forfeiture on any level is evil. Just like, taking people's land is evil. Of course, it's absolutely government theft. It's just more blatant than some government theft. But the problem is they actually make it easier to get your property back in most other ways because you've got the entire weight of the Justice Department trying to come after you now for it. And good luck getting it back, because I've read stories of people that have waited years and years and years to try to go through the system, to try to battle it, to get back their rightful money. They've done nothing wrong. They have no history of any criminal activity. Not that that should matter in the moment anyway. But no, it is absolute government theft. And like I was saying earlier, at least it's out there for us to document, for us to rage against, and to also raise awareness about, because so many people are so stupid on this topic that every time it happens, as horrible as it is, that adds to the water that hopefully will overfill that bucket and get people so mad that we can finally end this plague.
Point of order.
Oh, here we go.
Government actually, it was a few years back, like 5-6 years back, they actually have stolen more from the citizens of the United States through civil asset forfeiture than actual, well, I don't know if I can say actual, than other criminals.
Do you know what actual means? You can say that word.
Yeah.
I do not think you know.
But they have stolen more than other criminals. And that is wild to really think about that the government, well, it's not, because government is theft. Everything that they do is based on theft, so including rights, money, assets.
One of my favorite memes to share is like, it's actually a screenshot from the IRS tax code, and it's talking about if you've stolen property, you have to record its value on your taxes, and unless it was returned to its rightful owner. This is actually in our fucking tax code. Like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Well, anyway, back on to Brian's point about the civil asset forfeiture. There was this police department that got busted with like a $20,000 cappuccino machine, and they had taken it in civil asset forfeiture.
Yeah. All right. Enter your scores in the chat. Let's see. The chat's fire.
It's a Spanish accent. It's from the Spaniard Inigo Montoya. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm a little scared of the chat right now. Let's see what's going on.
Oh, it's a mess
100
in
to
there.
the entire panel. I'm not the only alcoholic here for once. Oh no, that's it's a drinking game. It's for sure a drinking game. 100 to Travis for pimping agorism. 200 to Marcus for getting rid of the damn flock cameras. 200 to Marcus for not getting us kicked off of YouTube. Yeah, thanks, Marcus.
It's not over yet.
Off government by voting libertarian. 200 to Marcus. 100 to Travis for recruiting crackheads.
Gotta look out for them.
Was that to the party or something else? I have no idea.
Well, to help them take down all the flock cameras. They got.
Oh yeah. All right. Now I remember where we're at. 200 Travis, educate the crackheads on precious metals. we should
try to help out. Just trying to help out.
We should do a seminar or something. 200 to Brian for local communities. 100 to Brian for mutual aid. 100 to Travis for not living in a communist state.
Wow.
Getting there a little bit, though. It's getting there a touch. 100 to Brian for quitting the strip club DJ.
For now, until my girls turn 18, because if they're going to do it, I'd rather be a good father and be there.
It felt like more of a pause than a quit.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't you rather be there and be like, all right, come on?
Oh, you always have to be there for your daughter. Yeah.
My little sweetheart. Let me tell you the story about when she shat herself. You know, like, I can dissuade people. So I'll come back.
Yeah. 100 to whoever shouted out the guilt.
That's me, baby.
That would also be strip club Brian. Does Brian talk faster than Larry? I think that's physically impossible. 100 to Travis for showing support for the crackheads. Oh my!
Got to take care of them.
This is so off the rails. Boom. 200 to Travis for understanding the war on drugs is working exactly as intended. Points to Travis. He just made the same point regarding the success of the drug war as I made in the George H. Smith reference.
Purpose of a system is what it does.
Yep. Points to Travis. Drugs and prisons won. Prison industrial complex 100%. 100 to Marcus for saying nappy. Another 100 if he mentions ashy.
I am currently not ashy, although this is just a reflection. I have Jergens myself up this evening, so I am not ashy.
Yeah,
that should be 200 points.
Marcus goes to bed, hood, and beyond, so he gets his skincare regimen. 200 to Marcus. Naps are a great drug. 100 to Brian for the combination of bridges and politicians. 200 to Travis for making us like Escobar more than Musk. I think I was already there. I like my markets like I like my libertarians. LOL. Points to Marcus. Points to Marcus for pimping black markets. 85 to Travis for Pablo Escobar. Was that like that sounds like a transaction.
Yeah.
Crafts here. What's up, buddy? What's up, everyone? Glad to see Marcus is still talking about black markets. Yeah, that was a disaster of a show when that happened. And 99 to Brian for gray markets, 62 to Marcus for black markets. Matt Black, not glossy. Points to Travis for the Snowden nod. I liked how you called him Ed, like you're on a first name basis with him. 100 to Travis for the AT&T info. Minus 150 to Marcus for having AT&T.
I didn't know.
He probably still uses a Hotmail account.
Yeah, it's actually a yahoo.com account. So
Yeah.
there you go.
I can hear your AOL disk spinning in the background there. That's why
Dial up is still working.
That's why you're all grainy tonight. Mag is an embarrassment. It's a rebranded embarrassment, technically.
Yeah.
I bet Brian could cut a mean promo with Stone Cold Steve Austin, 125. Anarcho Cats here, one of my favorite memers. Points to Travis for dunking on Lincoln. The proper term is fat-bodied Americans, Travis. Minus 2 for not being PC. 100 to Travis for the cool John Adams lesson. Points to Travis for the great object. It's a great show. Everybody should check it out. 4A has always been an illusion. Points to Travis nonetheless. Minus 13 effing swear jar points to Travis.
Sorry.
200 to Brian. Stay strapped or get clapped. 100%. Points to Travis.
He meant Travis there.
He meant Travis.
But we both
Going back and forth. Going back and forth. Minus 13 F off points from Marcus. Points to Marcus on the Whiskey Rebellion. Points to Travis for the Larry Sharp juggle. Minus 100 Marcus for ass kissing me. Oh yeah. Oh, that's
I already said what I needed to say to that guy.
Yeah, that was the most uncomfortable I've ever been on my own show. Maybe
a
in
load
like,
of malarkey, bro.
in
We're supposed to be
general,
brothers. We're over here in Cali. We're supposed to stick together.
Points to Marcus. The ink wasn't dry on the Constitution. They drafted the Alien and Sedition Acts and the Whiskey Tax. Points to Darius for the Whiskey.
Let's go with Charlie Pride, people. Let's stick to.
So is it Darius Rucker or is it Isaac Hayes? That's what
I believe
Charlie
he
Pride.
wants to be called Cootie. I think that's what it was. Points to Marcus. Democrats and Republicans would be redcoats and shouldn't celebrate July 4th. 100%. Points to Brian. Civil asset forfeiture is theft by design. Minus to Marcus for the Robert Rules of Order. Yeah.
Point of order.
That sucks so bad. I fully endorse this one. 116 to Brian for the Princess Bride quote. Points to Brian for the Parisian call girl accent. I think we straightened that out, though. And minus 100 to Brian for correcting me. Yeah, you don't want to correct Amity. It makes my life very hard.
I knew she was going to take it back, but I had to correct it.
Yeah.
You ought to know better than to correct any woman. She's already correct.
Yeah, that is true.
I just corrected my wife. Was like, "Are you almost done?" I was like, I just texted her like, "I told you to be done by 6:30." So just wait for that fallout.
Especially a woman I live with. So you made my life doubly hard there. So
Nice.
All right, let's check out the score again. And here we go. Another flip flop. Travis in the lead, just ahead of Brian. And somehow Marcus is hanging on. There must be a scoring.
This is some bullshit right here. You know.
I already told you I'm not losing to a Californian. Like we're the first state.
This is a conspiracy.
All right, last round. Let's go fast so Brian can sleep in his own bed tonight. All right, Travis, to you. Category is the auto kill switch and digital tracking. Would Americans reject these technologies if they fully understood them?
I just want to I'm not kissing your ass because I know that's how you lose points. But you put that question in there for me because I'm a mechanic, didn't you? You put that in there for me.
I did.
Oh, I'll give you a hug sometime. I the PBR and rip it out with my right hand while I'm just downing a good PBR. I'll rip that shit out. Like you're not having that in my car. It's my car. It's not the government's car, and they can kiss the crack of my ass.
I like it.
Amen.
All right. Marcus, to you. Should the government have the ability to remotely disable vehicles?
Government should not have the ability to do shit, but anything that we actually grant them the privilege. Government has no rights, so anything the government does is a privilege. So government shouldn't be able to do shit until we say they can do it. That's why you should vote for libertarians.
I like it. All right, Brian, to you. Does vehicle tracking cross a constitutional line?
I mean, I would say so, because if you think about, a unconstitutional search, I think that constitutes search. I mean, you're watching what somebody does all the time. You have the ability to track somebody all the time. And granted, yes, I know they have that basically in our phones now, but one of the few things that you used to be able to do was you could travel freely. You could, just like the problem with, CBDCs is that the government can track every single thing you do. They know every expenditure you make. This now is extending into our cars. This is absolutely unconstitutional. You're supposed to have freedom of movement within our nation, freedom of movement everywhere, for that matter. And the fact that the government now not only can track what you're doing, but also knows what you're doing if you've had enough sleep. If you're taking a shit in your own car, maybe you didn't get the chance to go to the gasoline station, and now you're blowing out a bran muffin. The government knows about it. That is not constitutional. That is not within the constitutional boundaries, and it's absolutely an atrocity that every American, to your point earlier, your question earlier, every American needs to know, and needs to know this is not a safety issue. This is a tracking issue. This is a search issue. This is a absolute infringement on your right to privacy.
I didn't think that you'd be able to ruin bran muffins more, but here we are. Here we are.
I do.
Oh, my Lord. All right. Travis, back to you. Category is gun rights and resistance to tyranny. Do governments historically disarm populations before expanding power?
Every single time. It's the first step. The pattern is they come and they're like, for safety, because this attack happened, we're going to take your guns. And it's just common sense gun reform, which the governor, I'm going to say governor of Virginia, today, she was doing a live stream signing an assault weapons ban. Guess exactly how many guns she's going to collect? 0. Okay? Because back during the War of Northern Aggression, Abraham Lincoln was questioning one of his generals. He said, why can you take Mexico City with 5,000 troops, but you can't get into Richmond, Virginia with 100,000? And he replied, sir, because the men who took us into Mexico City are the ones that are preventing us from entering Richmond. Okay, so I know you guys might think I'm cool, but I'm actually a pretty average dude up here. Like, you haven't even really met the outgoing and boisterous ones yet. So if they come up here even trying to get one person's gun, like we're talking all full out scale civil war, and it's going to be over in about 30 minutes, and we're going to win. That's just how it works. Okay, we are the first and last stop for any draft for the military. We are the nation's actual warriors. Okay. And we are not afraid of death. So I've been drinking a little bit, so I'm going to shut up now. But
It's getting a little messy. I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. Marcus, to you. Is an armed population still the ultimate check on tyranny?
Not when they're afraid of government. And that's the problem right now, is these people think the government are the good guys. They're not. Nowhere in history have you ever seen government be the good guy. If you're looking at, like, everybody likes to talk about, murder stats and whatever, nobody's touching governments. There is not one individual group, race, or whatever that has ever touched the amount of tyranny, murder, and death that governments of this planet Earth has inflicted upon mankind. And when people actually study history instead of ingesting what the public education system is indoctrinating them with, then you will truly see the enemy of human civilization is government. And it has always been, and it will always be, until we start thinking about being libertarians as a whole and not just as a small little party. Vote libertarian.
Right.
As our first governor said, he said, suspicion is a virtue. as long as it stays within proper bounds. Guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Suspect everyone who approaches that jewel. Unfortunately, nothing will preserve it except for downright force. And whenever you give up that force, you are inevitably ruined. His Excellency, Patrick motherfucking Henry.
Word.
I can also quote, "I'm too drunk to eat this chicken, Colonel Sanders." Can't remember what movie that's from.
Ricky Bobby.
There was a Talladega.
Talladega Nights.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right, Brian, to you. Have gun laws become more about control than safety?
I think they were always about control more than safety. I mean, once you had an introduction of gun laws, it was the government acknowledging that the government had gotten to a large enough size and of a power, and that people within that power were privileged enough to need to turn their attention towards the population, because we all know the population was assured gun rights so that they could fight back against the government. If you have to have gun regulations, if you have to have control, well, that is the government admitting that they are afraid of the population, and rightly so. And so they're trying to protect their own, their own pot of gold. So yeah, it's always about control and not safety. If it was about safety instead of gun control, well, you'd simply have everybody be allowed guns all the time, because that way a safe society, right, an armed society is a trustworthy society. We see that play out with gun statistics across the nation.
Can I expand on my fellow Californians' point?
Go for it.
Absolutely.
Good ideas don't require force, the classic libertarian mantra. And if it's a good idea, then the government doesn't need to be pushing it. It should be part of society. So thank you very much, Brian. You're a credit to California and the Libertarian Party, the fourth largest economy in the world and the largest libertarian party in the United States. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Doing the tourism thing again. All right. All right. Back to you, Travis. The category is the militarization of government. Has domestic policing become too militarized?
In most places, yes, but up here in the hills of Virginia, honestly, our police are great people up here. I mean, we didn't have any COVID restrictions or anything like that. We didn't have militarized police running through shooting old grandmas with bean bags. Basically, for the reasons going back to my last point, they know better than to screw with us here. But our police are genuinely good people. Like, I live right next door to the sheriff. He's actually a really good guy. I guarantee you, if they ever try to come take our guns, he's going to be right there next to you in the trenches fighting with you. So, like, not all police are bad. Like, I really don't like that ACAB stuff, but yes, in most places, to your actual question, yes, they have become heavily militarized. They have tanks. They have drones. It's absolutely insane, and they get away with just about anything through qualified immunity. Like they'll even take over your house just to get a strategic position on somebody next door, and there's nothing you can do about it. But up here, they don't do that because they know better.
Yeah, another way of sending money to
Lucky.
the complex.
We're not lucky. This is a purposeful society up here. Like Brian quoted Heinlein just a minute ago. He was like, he says an armed society is a polite society. And then you go back to Robert E. Howard, the guy who wrote Conan. He says the civilized man is often more rude than the barbarian, because the civilized man knows that he can be rude without having his skull split as a general thing. And up here, you can have your skull split very easily if you're an asshole. But everybody up here is polite. You say your yes sirs, you say your no ma'ams, you in the door for little old ladies, and you don't hurt people. You don't come up here and start trouble. If you want cold beer and good steak, you're going to find more than you can handle. But if you come up here looking for trouble too, you're going to find more than you can handle. Armed society is a polite society, and that's why Appalachia is the best place to live you can possibly live in.
Well, to be fair to my fellow Californians, if you wear the wrong color out here, you could also get your skull split. So,
yeah.
Rips.
All right.
I just, I'm sorry.
To you, Marcus. Does militarization increase distrust between citizens and government?
Not for bitches who suck off government, because that is the thing about a lot of Americans, they see their local police force with MRAPs and all this surplus military gear, and then they feel safe, not knowing that every time your local police force or your sheriff department, and I'm not saying in Virginia and the Appalachians, but in a lot of municipalities, when they buy ammo, they buy it to kill Americans. They're not buying it to go fight somebody in Iraq or Iran or, whatever. They're buying ammo because when they go out on the streets, until they deem otherwise, you're the enemy with a lot of police agencies out there. And we have this republic twisted up. It is not what it's supposed to be. It is not for the government, it's for the people. And until we get to that point where Americans truly understand that, we're going to be living this living hell of, if something goes wrong, government's going to step in. You saw that as of March of 2020, and going back to after 9/11 when they did the Patriot Act, that the government took power and they're not going to give it back. And until you start electing, people keep beating me up in the comments about electing libertarians, but that's the only answer right now, because if you step up to the mantle by yourself, you're either going to get shot or be put in Florence, Colorado for an extended period of time. So until that day comes where it is the last thing that we need to do, you need to vote libertarian.
I hate when I agree with you, but I actually agree with you. So I'm with Marcus on that one. All right. Brian, to you. Has government adopted a war mentality towards its own citizens?
Yes, absolutely it has. I mean, you look at the fact that government has instituted a lot of different, let's say, techniques and technologies to spy on us, to surveil us, just like they do with foreign entities. They eradicated the opposition and laws to stop us from being propagandized on our own soil. So yes, this is a war mentality, and they've taken it to the next level too with all this talk. Do you think about it this way? They're also propagandizing us and essentially having a war against us when it comes to different issues like climate change. I mean, the King of England, to use a different nation, said that we are in a war on climate change. Now, what does war mean? War means that you can ration things. War means that you can nationalize industries, which we're already seeing, by the way, with Donald Trump talking to Ford and GM and talking to them about changing their production lines to make war machines. They are absolutely treating us as though we are the opposition. I said this before earlier on. When you look at your own population and put in controls on what they can do, how they can move, what weapons they can buy, you are clearly viewing us as the opposition. And they should, because we are getting pissed off.
Yeah.
Whoops, we've had enough. And it's reaching a boiling point where people are waking up and saying, we are not, our government is not for the people here. They are for themselves. They enlarge themselves. Nothing in this country is getting better. So the government, in truth, is right to view us as a foreign entity that needs to be fought against in a warlike situation, because we are fed up and we've had enough. And it's up to us to wake other people up that continue to vote for the same people and make them realize we are, in fact, in a war. We are in a cultural war. We are in a financial war. And soon enough, we may be in a civil war. So get your asses ready, prep yourselves, educate your children, and, buy your guns.
I was just telling Topher Field the other day that when it all hits the fan, I'm going to go hide by Travis. So that's my plan. So, all right. Last three questions of the night. First to you, Travis. Category is why wars never end. Are Americans less willing to support military intervention than politicians are?
Oh, absolutely. But like you talk, because we're the ones that's going to be fighting it. Like, if they start a draft, it's going to be my people, the Appalachian people, that are the first stop. There's songs about it, if everybody's heard Copperhead Road, he says, I volunteered for the Army on my birthday, on my 18th birthday, because they draft white trash first around here anyway. Right. And, you know, it's going to be us that's dying. It's not going to be the politicians. The politicians pay no price whatsoever. In fact, they get richer off of it because they own defense industry stocks. It's going to be me and you getting turned into like humps of flesh laying on the ground while getting blown to pieces. And if we do come back, we're going to have PTSD and suffer a suicide rate of 22 a day, unfortunately. That's just how our veterans are treated. Our veterans are the most noble people in the freaking world because they got tricked into going over there thinking that they're fighting for freedom when they're really just fighting for oil and opium. And, you know, it's just like, oh man, I get worked up about this. But yeah, like, you know, these politicians are going to stay in their stupid little offices with their air conditioner, their $20,000 couches at our expense. They're going to keep printing money, and they're going to keep growing richer while we're over there dying. And luckily, the cyberbully campaign on this Iran war seems like it's actually working. But I honestly think this is just Trump trying to save his butt in the midterms, because like I still do not believe that Israel's tendrils in our government has been severed. Like they're just going to keep squeezing until they get all the wars they want. But yeah, I'm just going to shut up now.
Well, can I quote my fellow Californians to his point real quick, Travis's point? Why don't presidents fight the war? Why do they always send the poor? So that's what I wanted to
Barbarisms by Barbaras in pointed heels. God, it's such a good song.
Yeah. We have no hair between any of us. We should headbang.
I used to have my hair down to here, and then I cut it. My wife's like, no.
Yeah.
I used to have hair, but then I got married and had kids.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
I lost my hair at 16. That's why I had the personality.
I'm glad we all could
Take a
share
swim,
tonight.
man.
This is like did my heart well tonight that we all could share bald stories.
I've got enough to podcast. It's just right. It's right here. That's
I've
all
got
I
a full head, and I just keep my hat on.
Oh, here
You're not one of us then.
Now
I
he's
take
bragging.
that.
Yeah,
no,
now he's
I'm not.
that.
All right. Marcus, to you. Are Americans manipulated emotionally into supporting wars?
Well, I mean, that's what Israel does. They manipulated us into pretty much every war of the 21st century because they need to somehow justify their existence. The whole 2 weeks to a nuclear bomb in Iran is one of the stupidest, and I blame public education for this, but one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. If Iran wanted a nuclear bomb in 2 weeks, why didn't they do that the 2 weeks before, or the 2 weeks before that, or the 2 weeks before that? You know, this whole thing where Americans are saying we've been with Iran for 47 years, but they don't want to look back as to why. And that's one thing I will always thank my parents for, because they taught me to always ask why. Don't just accept what people tell you. Because in 1953, the United States decided to destroy the democratic elements of the one of the oldest civilizations in mankind, continuous civilizations in mankind. And the fact that Americans don't want to look back to American foreign policy, the Islamic whatever of Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran didn't exist before American intervention. And so if you don't want to understand why, you will be easily manipulated. And that's why you should offer your vote to your local libertarian.
All right. Last question of the night to you, Brian. Have endless wars weakened America domestically?
Absolutely, they have. My God, you look at the way in which all of the spending on foreign wars has impacted us domestically. The amount of weakness that we've seen in our dollar, our spending, our emotional state. I mean, it's not just the fact that they've eradicated our ability to save, to spend, but also think about the fact that they've made everything more dangerous for us, even to go abroad. Right now, you have to worry if you're an American. We have travel warnings as an American to go abroad. You have been endangered in that respect. We were a nation wherein we were, like I said earlier, we are very lucky as far as where we are globally. But now we actually have to worry about these things. We have to worry about attacks on domestic soil from splinter cells. 9/11, whatever you believe, whether it was government coordinated or not, it still happened on our soil. And that has made us aware that our exceptional ability to wage war across the nation, to go out in this adventurism, to nonstop mess with countries that have no impact on us domestically, yet have endangered us to the point where we have to warn our children. We have to consider what's going to happen in the future. And none of this with any thought to the fact that we may be the power now, but things change. Empires crumble. Technology catches up or can surpass us to the point where we may not sit here pretty in our little nest where we're protected, where we can be targets. Absolutely. We are weakened domestically in every sense, and not just financially, not just in the fact that we're in danger, but also in the fact that our trading power is diminished. Our ability to have an economy functioning is diminished, because if you engage with somebody named China, if you engage with somebody named Russia, that impacts gasoline, Iran, gasoline. If you go in China, they're our number one trade partner. All of our expenses go up. We have an economy that's based on a global economy at this point in time. Everything we do militaristically impacts us at home. So it has made life infinitely worse for us in every measurable way.
All right.
Word.
Great place to end it. Enter your scores in the chat. Tell us who you thought won. Tell us what you thought of the show tonight. The chat is still fire. Let's go. 200 to Travis for the black velvet background. Yeah, that's pretty slick. Going 70s style there.
That's it.
200 to Charlie if you sing your hit song, Kiss an Angel, Good Morning.
Too late,
God.
show's over.
Please, God, no. Yeah. 200 pity points to Marcus for being in third place.
Thank you.
200 to Travis for the bro hug with free. 200 to Marcus, government should not have the ability to do shit. 200 to Travis for telling the government to kiss the crack of your ass.
I repeat, governor span booger, kiss the crack of my ass.
200 to Marcus, government doesn't have rights. 200 to Brian for the sound of music picture. 200 to Brian for not slurring too terribly bad on his freedom of movement answer.
It's gotten trickier as we go along.
Blowing out a bran muffin, something Free does after he washes one down with prune juice. Oh, F you, Woodcraft.
And 100 to
Brian got points out of it.
Woodcraft.
Points to Travis every single time. Points to Travis for holding the line in Virginia against the tyrannical governor. Points to Travis for his 30-minute war. Points to Travis for dissing Smam Booger. Points to Travis for not being one of the outgoing and boisterous ones. Yeah, we got a lot of that here. Points to Marcus, government is never the good guys. What does Marcus mean by these people? Unbelievable. 50 points for sympathy. This statement from Marcus equals me finding him on Twitter and a new friend. That'll go poorly for you, but we appreciate you supporting our contestants. Travis should do a Travel Appalachia commercial. That would be way better than Marcus's shilling for Newsom bullshit that he's doing.
I would never do that for that fruitcake. I'm
great
sorry. Don't ever associate me with that fruitcake. That's
the
a
demon
red
that
line.
wears human skin that named Gavin Newsom.
Yeah. Points to Marcus for the vote libertarian plug. Points to Brian for being too drunk to eat chicken. Points to Travis for more based history. Points to Travis for pimping Patrick Henry. Points to Marcus for the Ricky Bobby mention. All gun laws are racist. Damn the government. 110 to Brian. Points to Travis for articulating that an entire profession isn't evil, even if some individuals are. Points to Travis for liking cold beer and steak. Marcus belongs on Liberty Libations tonight. Are you smarter than a politician? What's in the glass? Makers Marcus. 100 for still being based. I feel like Makers Marcus would come in a paper bag. That's my thought on that one.
Wow.
Points to Marcus until we get to We the People and electing libertarian. It's going to be a living hell. 100 to Marcus for pulling a Larry Sharp and adding his 2 cents. What's up, D? And I didn't
Wait,
say
I thought Larry Sharp went one step further.
Larry answers everybody's questions, no matter even if he's on the show. That's really good thing. Points to Travis for singing live. Points to Travis, military is really fighting for opium and oils. 100% K. Points to Brian, we the people have had enough. Prep yourself and arm yourself. Points to Travis for Copperhead Road reference. More points for that reference. Thanks for calling me noble, Travis. 200 to you, sir. Brian has some of the best teeth I've ever seen. Marcus, are you hitting on other contestants in the chat?
We're in California. It's perfectly normal.
Points to everyone for not having a Bongina hairline. Points to Marcus for calling out the 2 weeks of BS of Iran propaganda. Just heads up, guys. Sharp Way Thursday we'll have Larry and Larkin Rose Part 2. I encourage y'all to come and visit and participate. It's going to be fire. Sounds awesome. Points to Brian for the smooth broadcast.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Points to Brian, absolute loosely. Points to Marcus, getting in the last word. Points to Brian, great final answer. Fantastic panel of great Americans this evening. Well done, 75 to all. And let's check the scoreboard one last time. Oh, it was close. Oh, here we go. Travis wins it, 65-83. He beats the Californians. Brian at 63-71. And Marcus at third, where we'd expect him.
That's Appalachian math.
21.
Yeah,
Six separate Tyrannosaurus, motherfucker.
That's a load of malarkey.
Marcus, third place. You've been here before. What do you think?
I want to say way down south on the Chattahoochee. This was some bullshit and some hoochie coochie. Check us out Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. This week, we're coming with Addison Patrick, Jacksonville City Council in Florida. We're doing our local spotlight on libertarian candidates because it has to start at the local level. So I want to encourage everybody to watch us Thursday and come and support because we're going to be doing donations and all that great stuff for our libertarian candidates. And I want to thank you to my fellow contestants. You guys were awesome. I really enjoyed this. I don't want to say thank you to Free because it goes to his head and he thinks because he has more hair than me that he's better than me. So I just want to say thank you to Terry and everybody in the chat. You guys were all great. Even though you didn't give me the points I deserved, you guys can kick rocks. I'm still going to vote libertarian and kick ass and hold guns and chew tobacco and spit it out on your sidewalks in California so the government can clean that shit up. Kick rocks. Vote libertarian.
All right. Check out Marcus's show, the Black Powder Podcast, Thursdays, 9 p.m. And follow him on X at Black Powder Pod. And I'd say thank you, but I really don't feel like it. And second place to Brian. What'd you think, man?
I'll be quick. That was awesome. I loved it, dude. Free. So much fun. Love the format of the show. The guests tonight, fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Commenters, you're also awesome. Check us out, Lions of Liberty Podcast. Like I said, we've got amazing lineup of shows. You know the people on it: Brian Nichols, me, John Odermatt, Lou Perez. Really check that out. And if you have not joined the Libertarian Party, if you got pissed off, I am still working there. So come on, help pay my salary. And thanks again, Free.
Your pittance, right? Yeah. All right. Check out Brian on X. He's at Brian McWilliams. Lions of Liberty are at Lions of Liberty. I enjoy all their shows, and you're doing a great job as comms director of LP National. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming on. And last but not least, our big winner. What'd you think tonight, Travis?
Brother, dude, I have had a blast every single time I've been on this show, but I think I enjoyed this one even more. Like this was a great crowd. The chat was fire. Like, you guys are freaking awesome. You guys understood that Virginia's better than California. I mean, what more can you ask for, you know? And again, this weekend, I'm going to be talking to a dude. We're going to be talking about the Battle of Calvadango. We're going to be talking about Reconquista and the Spanish Reconquista. And we're going to be differentiating between positive immigration and negative immigration. And we're going to do it from a liberty angle. The great object is that every man be armed, as the Patrick Henry quote goes. And my grandfather makes these high quality walking sticks. I'm selling those. So if you find yourself in need of a cane,
stick?
Yeah, he makes these. These are made just down the road from where Stephen Austin was born.
Is there a
And,
sword in there? Do you make them with swords when you pull out the handle?
Not yet, but we're working on that. But yeah, like Rob Yates, he's sporting one of our sticks. Like he's really happy with it apparently, and yeah, these are like hickory. Like you can actually use these as self-defense things too.
Nice.
So like, but yeah, if you're interested, hit me up on Twitter and we'll figure something out and ship it to you. But yeah, thank you for having me on, Free. You and Terry, you guys are doing God's work. I don't think you realize just how important this show actually is, but it's up there, and it needs to stay up there. It needs to actually be shared wide and far. So please, everybody, retweet this, because this isn't just a game show. This is actually making a difference. So
Absolutely.
right.
Thanks, brother. And check out the Great Object Podcast. It's on YouTube, and follow Travis on X at Liberty_Extreme. Appreciate you, brother. And let's add Terry real quick here. Terry, what'd you think?
As expected, these guys were absolutely awesome tonight, and I hope everybody shares out the replay, because this is how we teach people about liberty and what their rights are. We can make it fun, and we can get lessons from people who know what they're talking about and get different opinions at the same time. So we always appreciate the shares. And I put it in the chat. If you guys know anybody that has medical damage or damage from the godforsaken jab through COVID, there is going to be a hearing with Ron Johnson in the Senate, and you can contact myself or my daughter-in-law, and I put hers in there at Leslie Batts 02. We were in direct contact with Ron Johnson. It is not going through his office. Okay, so send them out there. Anybody that you know, they still need testimony. We're almost at 300 testimonies right now, so it's going very well, and we've met all of the deadlines and guidelines that have been given so far, and I appreciate it. Thanks, Free.
That's awesome. You know, I love the work that Leslie and you are doing on that. It's extremely important. Thank you again to our sponsor, Zoom Beyond Shrooms. Check out Plur. They're a lot of fun. Zoomtrip.com, XUMTRIP.com. Thank you again to our subscribers. If you want to check us out at Freedom Fest, July 8th through 11th, register at freedomfest.com. Use the discount code SPIKE100. And we'll also be at the Midwest Peace and Liberty Festival, August 6th through 9th, mplfest.org. We're on X, at Smarter Game Show, at BatsT76. And our swag is at freedomsuperstore.com. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Guys, I knew this was going to be a lit show, but I had so much fun and laughed my ass off. You guys are three smart people that are extremely great messengers for the Liberty movement. Appreciate you all so much. Check us out again Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you all then. Peace out. Good night.